Today, we are diving into something powerful, Apex by Retouch4Me. It's a new AI-based tool that promises professional level skin retouching with just a few clicks. But does it deliver? Let's find out. What's up, Charlie? My name is Retouching, and this is Ghananie Photography. Apex is Retouch4Me's latest addition to their AI tools built to simplify portrait retouching. It is designed for both speed and quality, ideal for both professionals and beginners. It works as a standalone app and a plugin for Photoshop. For us to fully understand the features of Apex, let's go through some demonstration. For our demonstration, we'll use both light skin and dark skin so that you will fully understand how this tool works. We have this image which I have already raw processed. So we will export it to Photoshop. We have our image in Photoshop now, and as you can see, we have the Retouch4Me panel. I have a separate tutorial on how to use the Retouch4Me panel. You can check it out in the description. With Apex downloaded and installed, let's go to Filter, Retouch4Me, and then Retouch4Me Apex. This is the first time I'll be using this plugin, and we'll be going through it together. We are presented with the authorization window. We'll enter our Retouch4Me credentials. If you don't have a Retouch4Me account yet, head to Retouch4Me. If you don't have a Retouch4Me account yet, head to the website and get yourself an account. You get 20 free online retouches when you register. So just head there and get your account created. So I'll go ahead and enter my account details here. So here we will activate this. And just like that, our plugin has been activated. So let's maximize this so we have the full screen. So here our image has been imported into the plugin. So the interface looks just like the other plugins. On the left, we have our brush, the masking tool, the eraser tool, and a couple of them. And on the right, we have all the other plugins. So here, before we can start, we need to click on Start Retouching. But before then, let's look at what we can do here. We have lifting, heal, dodge and burn, portrait volumes, eye vessels, eye brilliance, skin tone, mattifier, white teeth, fabric, and clean backdrop. If you notice, these are the same plugins in the Retouch panel, but there's a difference. With Apex, you get to see in real time whatever you're doing. With the panel, you have to click to apply, then it goes into the cloud to work on them and then sends it back. But with Apex, as you drag the sliders, it already shows you the result. So it's like what you see is what you get. It's real time. So now let's go ahead and click Start Retouching. So if this is the first time you're using, it will present you with this disclaimer. So you click I agree and processing start. Now you should know that this is cloud based. So it's going to send your image to the cloud to have all these analysis done. So this is offloading the heavy work from your system to the cloud. So even if you don't have a powerful system, you will be able to use this to make your workflow faster. Our processing is complete. Let me take some time to explain the credit system. Each time you click on process, it takes 1 credit. Do you get it? So if you have 5 credits and then you click 5 times, you use 5 credits. But if you click once, you use just 1 credit. So here 1 credit has gone off. Now, these are the ones that are enabled: lifting, heal, dodge and burn. We can enable these ones as we move on. So now we are going to disable everything and then go through them one after the other. So here for lifting, the arrow here shows that there are more options down here. So we'll select lifting. This particular slider here is for the overall intensity. So either you're going all the way or you're reducing, just like opacity. So you use this to either increase the effect or decrease it. So here we can find a balance where we want. What lifting does is just like liquefy. So you use it to mold the person's features. In this case, it's for the face. So if you take a closer look, this is before, this is after. So here she has more like a rounder face, but if we go all the way here, you realize what's happening to the face. Some people would want to use this, others too would ignore. In most of my portraits, I don't do these things, okay, unless it's very, very necessary. So here we have femininity masculinity, hair volume, and then smoothing. So for femininity, I think that makes the face slimmer. Masculinity, you see what's happening here. Okay, so that should work more on a male portrait. And then here, hair volume, this makes the hair more or less. It thickens it or lightens it. So for those who like going deep into sculpting, this is a perfect tool for you. And then for smoothing, we have this. Okay, we see what it does. So for this one, I won't really make lots of use here. I'll just leave it as is for demonstration purposes. Now let's go to the next one, which is heal. So that's my favorite. Let's increase to 52%. Heal is something I use in my workflow constantly because you're always going to take off blemishes. So here, if you do before and after, currently I am yet to come by an AI tool that gets blemish remover like 100%. Most of them that I've tried don't get it 100%. Yes, Retouch4Me does a good job with their heal, but you know, there is still room for improvement. I'm hoping and wishing it will get to a point where the heal tool will be able to perfectly take off blemishes. And I'm sure we'll get there. So here, there are some blemishes left, but most of them have been taken care of. And then there is, if you go here, the intensity, you can always increase or decrease it. And then here we have dodge and burn. So that also we can go in here. There is the warmth and then only skin. So this is a very, very good upgrade. In the previous plugins, dodge and burn affected everything in the image, but now you have the ability to restrict it to only skin, which is perfect. So here we restrict it to only the skin, and then you can reduce the intensity or increase it, the warmth, whether you want to make the image warmer or maintain the temperature that it came with. So here, I love this. I'll keep it on. If you disable it or enable, you should be able to see what's happening. And then here we have portrait volumes. Portrait volumes is more like a global dodge and burn. So let's enable it and we see what before and after. That's also, we can decrease or increase the intensity. For demonstration purposes, I'm leaving some of these values at the highest so that you'll be able to see the effect. Now, eye vessels. Eye vessel doesn't really work on all images. What you need to do is use eye brilliance. That brightens the eyes. So here, if we look at before and now, you can always increase or decrease. Increase or decrease the effect. So somewhere here is visible. Now we look at skin tone. So if you go back to the full image and then we do before and after. Before and after. If you look at her face, okay, this is before. We have some blush on her cheeks. You can see them clearly here in the before. If you go to apply skin tone, it tries to blend that with the other parts of the skin. Do I like it like this? No. Now, if you look at the face, it has kind of flattened it, but the makeup is in a way that it has some blush. So what we can do is go in here, and then here also, you see, we have the option to select only skin, which is perfect. Sometimes, mostly when you're doing skin tone correction, you want it to apply to only the skin. No other part of the image should be affected. So here we can reduce it. So if you look at before and now, the difference is very minute. So just knowing how to work on your sliders will give you something close to the perfect result that you want. So here, let's go to the next one, which is mattify. We may not see mattify here much because the highlights in this image are the highlights that we want. So if we apply it still, it's going to try and work on. So we can just reduce or increase. So in this case, just for demonstration purposes, I'll leave it somewhere low here. And then white teeth, of course, this image doesn't show teeth, so it will not have any effect. For fabric, let's say if your subject is wearing a dress which is a bit wrinkled, you can use fabric to work on the wrinkles. And then the same thing with a clean backdrop. You use it to clean your backdrop. It cannot do like a full-time cleaning job as you have to do with your hand. Let's say if your backdrop is a bit small and there are extra spaces and all that, this tool cannot take care of those. What it can do is clean, make some basic cleaning on the backdrop, which is quite helpful. So with that, we have been able to work on this image. The next good feature in Apex is the fact that you can save these presets so that your workflow becomes faster. Next time you want to apply the same thing, it's easy because you've saved it. So if you want to save this, you just click on this, then you can give it a name and then save. Voila. Next time you come here, your settings will be preserved. And also we have some predefined settings here that you can use to speed up your workflow. So with that said, once everything is done here for us and we are happy, now let's go back and then have an overview. If you look at this image, what this has done, I mean, this is not like a high-end retouching, but with the result I have is good. If something, this is like a corporate portrait or something for a profile picture, this is perfect. So once we are done working on this, I'll go back to this soon, and then you can apply. So let's go ahead and apply, and it brings us back to Photoshop. So now you will notice that whatever we did was applied to the background image. Is that a smart way of working? No. I would expect that in the next update, this tool will be able to duplicate the background layer so that you'll be able to, so that you have your effects on a new layer. So it doesn't have to merge it into the background layer. Just like how when you use the cloud retouching panel here, the various plugins creates new layers for you. I would expect that Apex will also be able to create a new layer for you without you having to create a stamp visible layer or having to duplicate the background layer to be able to have a non-destructive workflow. With that said, we've been able to work on our image on a dark skin. We'll do it for a light skin also to see how it goes. So let's go back to Capture One, and then this is a raw file. Let's send it to Photoshop. So once we have this image here, to correct the mistake we made in the previous one, we are going to duplicate this layer, and then we go to Filter, Retouch4Me Apex to have our plugin opened. So we are back here, and remember, you need to click on Start Retouching to be able to have everything done. So let's click on that, and just like that, one credit is gone. You can always purchase extra credits from the Retouch4Me website. If you use the link in the description of this video to purchase your credits, you get 20% off whatever you purchase. So go ahead and use that link to get yourself more credits. Our image has been worked on, so let's take a look at what we have. Now, one thing I've noticed is that the Retouch4Me plugin favors light skin better than dark skin, because if you look at this image very zoomed in, you realize that the blemish remover did a great job on her face than it did in the previous image of a dark skinned person. So I believe as we move along, AI will learn more about dark skin so that it will be easier to work with AI on dark skin as it is with light skin. So here we have our tools here. Let's disable them and then go through them one after the other. So let's go back to this over here. Yes, we see enough skin like this. So first of all, let's try the presets. Portrait Essentials, okay. Perfect Skin, okay. Perfect Portraits, okay. And then product, of course, that should work for product, all off. So everything is off here. Now let's choose perfect skin. So if you look at perfect skin, okay, and also I can't double click to get full image. I have to use this. I would prefer something like 25, 50, 75 and 100, but if you look at this, it's 15, 52 and 1, 2, 3. I don't know why that is so, but I would prefer the 25 increments. So there's no way I can get 100% here like that. So as we see on the skin, everything has worked perfectly. Now let's go, we take this off, okay, and lifting, yeah. So everything works perfectly here. The good thing about this, as I said earlier, is that you get to see the results as you're working with it. So here, let's take everything off and then we enable them one after the other. Now lifting, do we want to lift? Somebody might want, but I don't want to. Heal, yes, compulsory. Dodge and burn, yes. Portrait volumes, yes. Eye vessel, as I said, it doesn't mostly work for normal eyes, but brilliance, yes, that's perfect. Skin tone, taking some redness off her face and blending it with the normal skin. Okay, I would like it, but I would want to reduce it so I can see some of the blushes on her face. White teeth, there's no teeth, there's no fabric, and then background. So you see what it's doing. If you look at the backdrop, this area, if we enable it, see, it did some cleaning on the backdrop. So if we are okay with this, then we click on apply and it takes us back to Photoshop. Once we are back in Photoshop, now we see that we have two layers, so we can disable this and enable. So let's go further, closer, and then let's take a look at before and after. So this is before, this is after. So this is a massive job done by Retouch4Me APEX. Retouch4Me APEX is useful to all photographers. If you're a portrait photographer, wedding photographer, or events, and you need to add that retouching aspect to your images, this tool is perfect for you. The only thing is you need to do some manual touch-ups if you want the high-end kind of results. Also, I noticed Apex doesn't accept RAW files, which is understandable because it's not a RAW processor. It just works on images. So let's use it as let's try it as a standalone and try uploading images. Now, if you go here, you see all the RAW images have been disabled. It allows only TIFF and then JPEG, which shouldn't be a problem because this obviously is not a RAW processor. I'll recommend Apex for any modern photographer who values both speed and results. Don't forget to use the link in the description of this video to make your purchase so you get to enjoy the 20% discount. If this video has been helpful to you, subscribe, like, and share it with other people that you know will benefit from it. You can check out these videos to learn more about Retouch4Me plugins.